The Bastard Son of Oxford. The Secret History of Cambridge. In 1209, a cold winter night in the town of Oxford, a scream echoes down a narrow alleyway. A woman lies dead. History doesn't record exactly why the student killed her. Some say it was an accident, others, a crime of passion. But in a town already boiling with tension between wealthy, arrogant scholars and the local laborers who fed them, this was the spark. The townspeople didn't wait for a trial. They seized two of the killer's roommates, men who had nothing to do with the crime, and hanged them. Terrified for their lives, thousands of scholars fled the city. Most went to Paris. But a small, desperate group followed the river northeast, to a quiet trading post called Cambridge. They didn't come to build a legend. They came to hide the anchor in the silt. For the first 70 years, the university was little more than a collection of rented rooms above taverns. It was chaotic. Students were technically clerks of the church, meaning they couldn't be tried in local courts. They were above the law, and the locals hated them for it. In 1284, the chaos finally got an anchor. Peterhouse, the first college. This changed everything. It wasn't just a school anymore, it was a fortress of knowledge. One by one, the great colleges rose from the marshland. King's College, with its chapel that took 5 kings and a century to finish. Trinity, founded by Henry VIII to prove he was more than just a man of the sword, but a man of the mind. The scientific revolution. But the true power of Cambridge isn't in its stone. It's in the radical, dangerous ideas that escaped its walls. Meet the men who redesigned the universe. Isaac Newton, sitting in his rooms at Trinity, pondering why an apple fell while the moon stayed put. He didn't just study math. He invented a new language, calculus, to explain the heavens. Charles Darwin, the Christ's College student who realized we weren't fallen angels, but risen apes. Alan Turing, the King's College genius who cracked the Enigma code and breathed life into the first digital brain. Stephen Hawking, who, from a wheelchair in the Department of Applied Mathematics, peered into the heart of black holes. If Oxford was the university of prime ministers and presidents, Cambridge became the laboratory of the gods. The Cavendish Ghosts. In 1953, in a cramped room at the Cavendish Laboratory, 2 men, Crick and Watson, spent their lunch breaks staring at cardboard cutouts of molecules. They weren't looking for a better medicine. They were looking for the secret of life. When they found the double helix structure of DNA, they didn't just win a Nobel Prize. They handed humanity the source code for its own existence. The legacy. Today, Cambridge is more than a university. It is Silicon Fen, a global hub for AI, biotech, and the future. It began with a murder and a frantic escape from a lynch mob. It survived the Black Death, the Reformation, and the Blitz. 8 centuries later, the bastard son of Oxford hasn't just grown up. It's the place where the future is written, one discovery at a time. 121 Nobel Prizes. 800 plus years. 1 Cambridge. Subscribe, like, and share.